Beyond this land of parting, losing and leaving, far beyond the losses darkening this, and far beyond the taking and the bereaving, lies the summer land of bliss. Land beyond, so fair and bright, land beyond, where is no night. Summer land, God is its light. Oh, happy summer land of bliss. Our invitation song will be number 800, Zion's Call.
There was a Logan's Roadhouse on Harrodsburg Road, not too far from where we live. We ate there a few times. I never thought very much about it until I read a news story about it closing and learned that it was, in fact, the original Logan's. Very first one of a restaurant that had 40 plus or more franchises in 13 states across the Southeast and into the Midwest. And it is now a car wash. That's not an unusual story, though. A few years ago, there was a minor, not a controversy, but a bit of a sensation when the original Wendy's, opened by Dave Thomas himself, closed. Things like that happen, and not just in restaurants. I remember back in the 90s, there was a serious news story, really a scandal, when Barings Bank of London suffered the loss of over $1 billion because of one trader making unauthorized trades. So a bank that was founded in 1762 that had served the Queen of England and financed the Louisiana Purchase crumbled because of the actions of one person. Now, human beings are capable of creating things, and things that last seemingly a long time, in many cases much longer than our lives. And because of that, because our only reference point for longevity is a life, our own lives, that tends to make things look permanent, enduring when they last longer than we do. This is an illusion, though, and it is rooted in our failure to understand the brevity of our own lives. In Psalm 90, in verse 12, Moses wrote, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Moses realized that a prerequisite to wisdom was understanding the brevity of our own time, of our own limited nature, of our own non-eternal nature. Wisdom is, in many respects, simply the understanding or the pursuit of the eternal, and the abandonment or the lack or the forgetting of a sort of that which is temporal and earthly and material. So for us, realizing the futility of the material, the temporal, allows us to free ourselves to the contemplation of the eternal. And that is how we begin to grow in wisdom. Everything that we can make, everything that we have, everything we see around us is perishable. In Matthew 6:19, Jesus said, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal." He pointed out that the things that we love, the things that we tend to treasure on this earth are perishable. Either they will be taken from us or they will simply decay and be destroyed by the natural processes of life and time. The world itself is subject to destruction and decay, and so everything that we have, our very bodies, are made from the stuff of this world and are therefore temporary. We cannot create permanent things from temporary materials. So our works are perishable because the very things that we make them with are perishable. And so when we think about the futility of dependence on our own works and the temporary, the the corrupt nature of the things that we see around us, we naturally begin to long for something more lasting. We begin to think about the eternal and the permanent. In Matthew 19:21, when Jesus counseled the rich young ruler, he said, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me." Jesus recognized that he was looking at a man who was overly connected to the physical, to the material, that he was too fascinated with the perishable things of this world. Jesus realized that he needed to tear the cords that bound him to the world so that he could be free to pursue that which is beyond this world, the eternal, that he could become wise. The perishable things of this world often distract us from the imperishable blessings of God. But he gives us these temporary lives as an opportunity to come to an understanding of that which is eternal. And he gives us, in these lives, the opportunity to make this temporary nature an entry point into eternity. He gives us a plan of salvation by believing that Jesus Christ is the eternal Creator, the Son of God, repenting of those sins that we commit, those things that are the result of our own want of the fleshly and the material, to confess that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and to be immersed in water, to be reborn, a birth that is not the beginning of a journey to death, but the beginning of an eternal journey. And if you have not done that this evening, then you have this chance. Or if you have done that, but you have strayed away and gone back to the things of the perishable world, then you have this temporary chance to make it right as we stand and sing.
Zion's call sweetly rings over land and sea, bidding us look to realms above, while the light from the throne shines for you and me. Let us listen to the call of love. Zion's call is ringing, coming from the throne above. While we hear it ringing, let us heed the call of love. On the road to the goal, burdens we must bear, but we have help from realms above. We receive courage new when we kneel in prayer. Let us listen to the call of love. Zion's call is ringing, coming from the throne above. While we hear it ringing, let us heed the call of love. While we tarry below, there is work to do, and our strength cometh from above. As we labor and wait, we must all be true. Let us listen to the call of love. Zion's call is ringing, coming from the throne above. While we hear it ringing, let us heed the call of love. You can be seated.